Have you ever noticed the same bird flying past your window every morning? Its wings brushing against the sunlight, almost as if it remembers you? Or the same flower blooming exactly where you walk? Again and again, as if nature is gently trying to get your attention, whispering, "Look closer?" What if none of this was random at all? What if the universe has been speaking to you, not through words, but through the language of life itself? You see, during a spiritual awakening, the universe rarely shouts. It doesn't need to. It speaks through symbols, through patterns, through the quiet rhythm of nature that most people rush past without ever seeing. The signs are all around you, in the animals that cross your path, the clouds that shift into familiar shapes, the winds that change direction when you begin to doubt yourself. Every moment of stillness, every repetition, every creature that seems to appear again, they're not accidents, they're invitations. Invitations from the universe to wake up and listen. Because when the soul begins to awaken, reality starts speaking back. The veil between what you see and what truly is becomes thinner. Suddenly, everything feels alive. The trees breathe, the sky watches, the earth hums with recognition. These signs, they are not coincidences. They are divine echoes, reminders that your path is not empty, that something greater is walking beside you. Maybe you've been feeling it lately, that strange pull to nature, that sudden peace when you hear birds singing, that gentle warmth that rises in your chest when sunlight touches your face. That's not imagination, that's remembrance. The universe has always been whispering, but only when your soul begins to stir can you truly understand what it's been saying. And if lately you've been sensing that nature is calling your name, if you've been noticing patterns too perfect to dismiss, then perhaps this message is for you, because you're not imagining it. You're remembering your connection. You're awakening to the truth that the universe has always been alive within you, waiting for you to listen. So, before we begin this journey deeper into the signs and symbols that nature uses to speak to you, take a moment, close your eyes, breathe, and whisper to yourself, "I'm listening." If you've been sensing nature calling you lately, type, "I'm listening" in the comments below, not just as words, but as a promise to yourself to stay awake, aware, and connected. Let's begin this journey together. Because once you open your heart to the signs, you'll realize nature has been speaking to you all along. It never stopped. You simply learned to hear again. 1. The butterfly. Transformation through discomfort. When the butterfly appears, it's not just beauty. It's the breaking of the old, the gentle cracking of something once safe, once known. It's the silent proof that even endings can bloom into wings. The butterfly doesn't simply arrive in grace. It first trembles in darkness, wrapped tightly within its own limits, unsure if it will ever see light again. You see, transformation doesn't always feel beautiful at first. It feels like confusion, like not knowing who you are anymore, like something inside you is dissolving. And that's exactly what's happening, because the cocoon must crack for wings to open. The old shell of your identity, the fears, the patterns, the beliefs, must fall away so your new self can breathe. Maybe lately you've felt lost, like you no longer fit in your own life. The things that used to bring comfort don't feel the same anymore. The conversations, the people, the routines, they no longer feed your soul. That's the cocoon stage, where everything familiar begins to fade, and all that's left is silence, uncertainty, and the faint whisper that something greater is waiting. Don't rush to feel good. Don't rush to escape this discomfort. It's sacred. It's the moment before the bloom. The butterfly doesn't fight the cocoon. It surrenders, because surrender is not weakness. It's trust. Trust that life knows what it's doing, even when you don't understand it. You are not falling apart. You are being reshaped. The chaos you feel is not destruction. It's divine reordering. When you finally emerge, the world won't look the same. The same streets, the same faces, but you'll see them through the eyes of something new, something lighter. You'll realize that every moment of pain was the universe whispering, "You're ready to grow," and that growth was never punishment. It was preparation. So breathe. Let the old you melt away. Allow life to strip you of everything false. Because underneath all that shedding, your wings are waiting. Transformation doesn't come when we fight it. It comes when we soften into it. When we finally whisper, I trust the process. So let me ask you, where in your life are you resisting your own transformation? Where are you holding on to the cocoon, afraid to fly? Maybe it's time to loosen your grip, to stop trying to return to who you were. Because the truth is, that version of you has already served its purpose. And maybe, just maybe, this is the season where you finally allow your wings to open. Not to escape life, but to meet it fully, fearlessly, beautifully. 2. The spider, the weaver of destiny. If you've been noticing spiders or their delicate webs glistening in the light, it's not a sign of fear. It's a message about your creation, a whisper from the unseen, reminding you that you too are a weaver of worlds. You see, every spider patiently weaves its web, thread by thread, with precision, with purpose, with presence. Never questioning whether the web will hold, only trusting in its own design. And just like that, every thought you think, every word you speak, every action you take, they're all threads being spun from the loom of your consciousness, shaping the web of your reality. The web you live in is not separate from you. It is you. It is your choices, your emotions, your energy, all interlaced, shimmering, creating patterns only the soul can see. The spider does not rush. It doesn't force its design. Trust the process, knowing that even the smallest strand matters. And so should you, because your life too is a web, and the energy you put into it echoes across every strand. Every doubt weakens it. Every loving intention strengthens it. The universe doesn't weave for you. It weaves through you. You are the hands, the heart, the consciousness through which the cosmic thread moves. When you understand this, creation stops being something out there and starts becoming something that lives within your breath, within your focus, within your daily choices. Every time you write your thoughts in a journal, you're weaving. Every time you clean your home, you're clearing tangled strands in your energetic web. Every time you speak kindness, you're adding golden threads of peace to your reality. But when you fill your mind with chaos, resentment, or fear, the web trembles, the energy distorts, the flow becomes tangled, and you find yourself caught in your own design. The spider teaches you to be mindful, to pause before spinning another thought, to choose your next thread wisely, to remember that what you weave today becomes the reality you walk through tomorrow. Some people see the web as a trap, but to the spider it's a masterpiece, a sacred mandala of purpose and intention. Maybe that's the shift you're being called to make, to stop seeing your circumstances as cages and start seeing them as canvases for creation. So when you clean your home, when you journal, when you light a candle with intention, you're not doing something small. You're reweaving your universe, strand by strand, with consciousness and love. And perhaps the spider has been crossing your path lately just to remind you. Creation is happening all the time. The only question is, are you weaving consciously or unconsciously? Take a moment to reflect. What kind of web are you weaving today? One of peace or one of chaos? Are your thoughts building harmony or tightening knots of resistance? Because the universe doesn't judge your design. It simply reflects it back to you. Whatever energy you pour into your web is what will shimmer in your reality. The spider whispers, weave with love, weave with patience, weave with faith, because every thread, no matter how small, is part of the grand tapestry of your destiny. So the next time you see a spider, don't just brush it away. Pause, breathe, and remember, it's not a coincidence. It's the universe reminding you, you are the weaver. 3. The snake, shedding the old skin. When the snake appears, it doesn't come with chaos. It comes with silence. And in that silence, it whispers to your soul, it's time to let go. The snake doesn't shed its skin because it wants to. It sheds because it must. Growth demands release. Renewal demands loss. And maybe that's what your soul has been trying to tell you, that the person you once were, the beliefs you once held, the attachments you once clung to are quietly ready to fall away. You see, shedding isn't comfortable. It's raw. It's disorienting. It's standing in the space between what you were and what you're becoming, not yet sure who you are without the old skin. The snake doesn't resist the shedding. It rubs against the earth, allowing friction, trusting that the old will naturally peel away when it's time. And maybe lately you've felt that friction too. Relationships that feel heavy, routines that no longer make sense, dreams that once lit you up now dimming like old stars. That's the shedding. That's life gently saying, you're outgrowing this. The discomfort you feel isn't a punishment. It's the signal that a new version of you is forming underneath. The snake teaches us that death and rebirth aren't two different things. They are one continuous motion, one sacred dance of evolution. Old habits, outdated beliefs, worn-out attachments. These are the old skins. They once protected you, but if you keep them too long, they begin to suffocate you. Shedding hurts because we've mistaken the skin for who we are. We've believed for too long that our identity is fixed, when in truth we are meant to keep unfolding layer by layer. Sometimes you'll notice it in the simplest ways. You wake up and realize you no longer resonate with the people you used to call your tribe. You no longer feel excited about the things that once defined you. You start losing interest in conversations that revolve around drama or fear. You crave silence, peace, and truth, even if you can't fully explain why. That's not you becoming cold. That's you becoming clear. The old emotional skin that once kept you tangled in noise is slipping away. The snake doesn't look back at its old skin. It simply moves forward, freer, lighter, unburdened by what once felt essential. You, too, are being called to stop clinging to what's already complete. Don't chase what's falling away. Don't mourn what's meant to go, because you're not losing anything real. You're returning to your essence, your truth, your wholeness. Every ending is a doorway. Every loss is a liberation disguised in discomfort. Every skin you shed reveals a truer self underneath. So if your life feels like it's unraveling, if your identity feels uncertain, remember, it's not destruction, it's renewal. The snake doesn't fear the process of letting go. It trusts that something wiser within knows exactly what must stay and what must go. Maybe your soul has already started whispering the same message, through lost interests, quiet endings, or the fading of what once mattered. And when that whisper comes, don't resist it. Don't fill the silence. Just listen, because the shedding always begins in stillness. The more you allow the old to fall away, the lighter you'll become. Until one day, you'll look back and realize the heaviness you were carrying was never yours to keep. The snake doesn't rush. It doesn't panic. It knows that every ending is sacred, that every skin, even the painful ones, played its part in protecting what was still growing. So ask yourself gently, what part of you is quietly asking to be released? What belief, what identity, what attachment no longer fits the soul you're becoming? Because when you finally answer that call, you'll discover the freedom that was waiting all along. Not beyond you, but beneath the skin you've just shed. 4. The eagle. Vision beyond the storm. The eagle doesn't escape the storm. It rises above it. While other birds seek shelter, it spreads its wings wider, catching the very winds that others fear. It doesn't resist the storm. It uses it. You see, the eagle teaches us something profound. That higher awareness doesn't come from avoiding the chaos, but from rising above it. The storm isn't the problem. The storm is the invitation. An invitation to ascend, to lift your sight beyond the noise, beyond the fear, beyond the illusion of control. Because when you rise above, you stop reacting and start observing. You stop drowning in emotion and begin to see patterns, meanings, connections. The divine order hidden within the apparent disorder. The eagle doesn't fight the wind. It doesn't curse the storm. It turns its face toward it and lets the wind carry it higher. Maybe that's what your soul is being asked to do. To stop fighting the situations that feel chaotic, and instead, rise above them with stillness and wisdom. When everything feels uncertain, when the ground beneath you trembles, when nothing makes sense. That's not your downfall, that's your liftoff. That's life saying, it's time to see from above. The eagle's vision stretches miles beyond what the eye can see. It doesn't get lost in details. It sees the whole, the mountains, the valleys, the horizon, all at once. And that's what higher awareness really is. Seeing beyond the temporary, beyond the small dramas of the moment, and remembering that every storm eventually clears, revealing the truth beneath it. When you rise into awareness, you no longer fear change, because you understand it's part of a larger flow, a design too grand to be seen from the ground. You begin to realize that the challenges, the delays, the confusion, they are not mistakes. They are wind currents designed to lift you higher, if only you stop resisting them. Stop fighting the wind. Use it to rise. Let every difficulty become the very energy that propels you toward expansion. The eagle reminds us that storms don't destroy the strong. They reveal them. The wind doesn't break its wings. It sharpens them. When you are in the middle of your storm, when everything feels overwhelming, close your eyes for a moment and ask yourself, what if this storm is helping me see from above? Because awareness isn't found in peace alone. It's found in how you meet the chaos. It's found in the way you breathe through the uncertainty and choose to see from the higher perspective. The eagle doesn't need to control the storm to master it. It simply understands the nature of the wind, that it comes, it howls, and then it passes. And in that understanding, there is peace. A peace that doesn't depend on calm skies, but on knowing you can fly through any weather. So when life feels heavy, when the winds of uncertainty pull at you, remember, you are not meant to cling to the ground. You are meant to rise. Higher awareness begins when you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? The eagle invites you to trust your wings, even if you've never flown at this height before. To stop shrinking from life's storms, and instead, soar into them with faith that they're carrying you where you're meant to go. Because you are not the storm. You are the flight. You are the stillness above the chaos. You are the witness that sees through it all. So ask yourself gently, are you reacting to life or rising above it? Are you trapped in the winds or learning to fly with them? The eagle's wisdom is simple. Storms are inevitable, but suffering is optional. The moment you stop resisting, you remember, you were born to rise. 5. The ant. Foundation and faith in the process. When the ant appears, it reminds you that every small act matters. In a world obsessed with grand achievements, the ant quietly teaches us that greatness is built one grain at a time. It walks with steady determination, never doubting its role in the larger plan. And perhaps that's the real wisdom we've forgotten. Awakening isn't only about visions or miracles. It's built in the quiet daily discipline of love, patience, and service. We often chase enlightenment as if it's a sudden lightning strike. But the truth is, it's more like the slow building of a cathedral, stone by stone, breath by breath. Every act of kindness, every time you choose silence instead of anger, every moment you return to presence. That's the divine unfolding in you. The ant moves with purpose, even when no one is watching. It doesn't need recognition, applause, or proof. It simply trusts the rhythm of its own being. And maybe that's what faith really is. Not hoping for reward, but knowing that what you do, however small, holds meaning in the grand design. Meditation, cleaning your space, or helping someone, that's sacred work too. Because the divine doesn't only live in temples or visions. It lives in the humble rhythm of your everyday devotion. Real transformation doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers through the consistency of gentle actions repeated over time. Like the ant, you're asked to trust the process. Even when results are invisible, even when the world doesn't see your effort. You're not meant to understand the entire blueprint, just to carry your piece faithfully, lovingly, until it connects with others. And maybe one day you'll look back and realize, those small acts were never small. They were prayers in motion. So today, before you seek the big miracle, look at the little things you do. The way you breathe, speak, listen, and love. Because the universe isn't asking for perfection. It's asking for presence. Are you honoring your small steps, or waiting for something grand to validate your path? The ant reminds us, Faith isn't about knowing where the path leads, but walking it with love, one sacred step at a time. Each of these messengers, the butterfly, the spider, the snake, the eagle, and the ant, isn't separate from you. They are you. Every time they appear, they are mirrors of your own becoming, reflections of your inner transformation playing out in the language of nature. Each one represents a phase of your awakening, from letting go to rising to creating anew. Each moment a sacred breath in the rhythm of your evolution. The butterfly reminds you that endings are beginnings. The spider teaches you that you are constantly weaving your reality with every thought, every word, every choice. The snake whispers that you cannot carry old skin into a new life. It's time to release, to shed, to be reborn. The eagle shows you how to rise above storms, how to see from a higher perspective, where chaos turns into divine order. The ant reminds you that faith is built through patience, that even the smallest act, done with love, holds infinite power. The universe doesn't send these signs to scare you. It sends them to remind you that you are never alone in your transformation, that every step of your awakening is being witnessed and guided. Because in truth, the divine never shouts. It whispers through the wind, through feathers on your path, through small moments you almost overlook. So, the next time a butterfly lands near you, or an ant crosses your path, pause. Let your heart grow still. Feel that sacred pause where your soul recognizes itself in all things. Whisper a thank you, because nature only speaks when the soul is ready to listen. Every sign, every symbol, every creature, they are sacred echoes of the same divine language you were born to remember. If one of these signs has shown up in your life recently, share it in the comments. Maybe it's time you finally understood what it means. Your story might be the light someone else needs to find their way through the dark. If this message spoke to your heart, let's walk this path together. Like, subscribe, and stay connected for more guidance on your spiritual awakening. Because this isn't just a journey you walk. It's one you remember. You are awakening. You are supported. And the universe is always speaking. Through everything.